Hi, our names are Aiden and Bennett, and we are going to shed some light on how hydroelectric dams are efficient and how they work. So, how a hydroelectric dam works is the dam releases water from the reservoir or lake that is holding water, is forced through a turbine, and it spins, and in turn produces a renewable form of electricity. So, what is the energy yield? Hydroelectric dams are very efficient and generate up to 90% of their available energy. Fossil fuels only produce about 50%. In the US, hydropower is produced for an average of 85 cents per kilowatt per hour. So, what is the cost and how much does it usually cost to build one of these hydroelectric dams? The cost to install a hydroelectric dam varies significantly based on the size. The Hoover Dam, which is the largest concrete structure at the time that it was built, cost about $49 million back in 1931, which is about $750 million today. That's very similar to the cost it takes to build a nuclear power plant, but doesn't come with the same potential risks that nuclear power comes with. So, how is the energy stored, and how is it centralized or decentralized? Hydroelectric dams are energy is produced by centralized generation, meaning it produces a large-scale amount of electricity for multiple end users. And the way hydroelectric dams store energy is once they pump the water through the turbines, the water sits in a smaller reservoir at the bottom of the dam and then pumped back up to the dam and ran back through to produce more energy. So, what other things could the land that dams are built on be used for? So, dams also provide many other uses aside from producing electricity. Oftentimes, you'll see that people build roads or bridges on them as a means to cross the water source of which that they rely on to produce the energy.
How do dams affect land, habitat, and soil? Dams alter the water flow in rivers, which block sediments from getting downstream. To make up for the loss of sediments, water erodes the soil in downstream riverbanks, which, which damages the land and soil. Habitats can also be destroyed by dams due to flooding of the reservoir. How do hydroelectric dams affect water quality? First of all, lots of water is used in hydroelectric dams because the turbines require large volumes of water to turn and be used for energy. The negative water effects from dams come as a result of the loss of water flow downstream caused by dams. The decrease in water flow downstream increases the surface area of water that is consistently exposed to the sun, which in turn increases evaporation, leading to shallower water, and shallower water causes a rise in water temperature. Due to an increase in decomposing material, reservoirs can be contaminated with methane and hydrogen sulfide. Also, dams can trap nutrients in the reservoir, which leads to toxic algal blooms, which can be seen in Geist Reservoir, for example. How do hydroelectric dams affect fish and wildlife? Well, the dams can harm the population of migratory aquatic species such as fish by not allowing them to travel up and downstream. This can be especially damaging for salmon because salmon cannot reproduce downstream. One limitation to hydroelectric dams is the limited number of reservoirs that are already built, and another one is location because dams do not want to be built in areas where drought is common because a drought can cause the reservoirs to not be replenished, which would slow the production. Hydroelectric dams should be used as the energy source of the future in the United States because for many reasons. First of all, a large problem with a lot of more common sources of energy today is air pollution. Dams are pollutant free. Also, we know that they can be used for a long time because they run on hydrogen, because they run on water, and water is made out of hydrogen, which is the most abundant substance on Earth. Also, they can work with fresh water or salt water, which means they can be used anywhere that water is found. Dams, another reason, which is the main reason, is that dams are 90% efficient. To make that easier to imagine, the largest dam in the world is located in China, and it's called the Three Gorges Dam, and it produces as much electricity as 25 nuclear power plants could. Um, Also, the Hoover Dam, which is the largest dam in the United States, single-handedly powers the entire city of Las Vegas, which is the brightest city in the world, and it doesn't even use all 17 of its turbines. For these reasons, I think that the United States should pursue hydroelectric dams as the energy source of the future.